Well, hello there, my friends. Hope this day finds you safe, healthy, happy, and thriving, loving what you do and doing what you love each and every moment of each and every day. And just growing bolder, growing stronger, healthier, and more vibrant with each passing moment, recognizing that as Mother Nature gives, Mother Nature takes away. And what Mother Nature takes away, we need to be as appreciative of as we were with the gifts that we were given. And then we need to continue to enjoy our lives and to live vibrantly. So let's start today, as always, with a little quote from Dr. Holmes. Got to put on my reading light here just so I can see what the heck I'm looking at. Maybe even would help if I put these on so then I can absolutely see what I'm looking at. Let's just open the book right there. And this is not one of those usual just in the middle of the page quotes. This is just something I had highlighted. You are a spiritual being. When the mind understands this and embodies its essence, that which you are in the invisible will become more apparent in the visible. And as the Bible states, your spirit already is perfect, an individualized center in the consciousness of God. God has made you out of itself. The only material it had was the substance of its own being. The only mind it had to implant in you was its mind. The only spirit it had to impart was its own spirit. One of my absolute all-time favorite concepts, aspects, if you will, of the science of mind. When we talk in terms of the overarching creative intelligence of the universe, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, that it created everything. It created all that is. Everything that we see is just simply God unfolding, God expressing. And I love the concept of what is the raw material out of which God made all of these things. And the answer is very simply, it only had one material. It only had one creative substance, if you will. If God is all there is, then everything is God informed, because that's the raw material it had to create whatever is created. I love that concept because it also speaks to the idea, it helps to formulate the idea that each and every one of us is an individuation of the divine, because as a creation of the divine, we are just simply itself in form. So that idea that we are all a part of God, or God is a part of us, or whatever you want to express that, that's 100% true, because the only thing that God had to create from is God itself. I just simply love that concept. I love that idea. Excuse me, I got to have a little water here. Nice. A little water with my XC trim in there. That's the best. So yeah, I love that concept. I love the idea. I love it makes so much sense out of even the biblical interpretation of Genesis, where there's, on the first day God created this, on the second day God created that, on the third day, on the seventh day He rested. All of those things. Basically, everything that God created out of the only substance that it had available to itself, which was itself. I love that. I absolutely love that. By the way, I can see you folks are out there. I can't always tell where you're, I can't tell what's connected to my comments and what isn't. There are half a dozen different places where we stream this show. It's streamed on the YouTube channels for both myself and New Thought Media Network. It is streamed on both of our Facebook pages, as well as my Vibrant Aging and Coach Ken Facebook pages. So there's a half a dozen different places where it is played. It is streaming. So if you're out there and you got a comment, you got a question, got something you want to expand on, or you want me to expand on, please dump it in the comments. I love to hear what you have to say. I love to make this as interactive as I possibly can. So I titled the show today, Discernment versus Judgment. And it kind of came from a conversation I had with me in the car this morning. Or was it? It was not in the car. It was in my meditation this morning. And it was kind of based in politics, but it's a general thought that I think all of us have to deal with at different times. If we are someone who is tuned into the spiritual, tuned into the science of mind, we understand that we want to respect that idea that, judge not lest you be judged. Judgment is not what we're here to do. We're not here to judge anyone or anything. And then I had this conversation with myself again, where I was thinking about, and you can put whatever names on this you want. Okay, I was thinking it definitely came from a political perspective to start with. And I started out with the idea of, okay, we know, all of us with any sense of perception, all of us know that a particular person lies like most of us draw breath. That person lies. Now, is that person then also a liar? Or is that too judgmental? A person cheats on everything in their career, in their livelihood, in cheating subcontractors, in stealing money from people, in all of those different areas. Is that person a cheater? Or is that just a person who cheats? One is putting a label on, labeling the person. And is that in and of itself judgment and too judgmental? It was a big question for me this morning because I want to be alert. I want to be aware. I want to be cognizant of what's going on in the world. As an American citizen, I certainly want to be aware of what's going on in our politics. And at the same time, I want to also have that concept of, the biblical idea of hate the sin, not the sinner. We are all, as the quote from Holmes said at the beginning of the show, we are all an emanation of the divine. Each and every one of us is an individuation of God, of spirit, of the overarching creative intelligence. Once again, whatever you want to call it. Each and every one of us, and the light of the divine shines no less on anyone else than it does on me. It shines equally on each. Yet, we definitely recognize people who are doing things that we would have to discern in our own perspective as wrong, as unkind, as unloving, as uncompassionate, however you want to look at it, and specifics. Like someone who cheats, someone who lies, someone who steals, someone who maligns, someone who is constantly bearing false witness. Which, not to sound too biblical about that, but I'm not a big Ten Commandments guy. But someone who does those things, do we then label that person as that, or do we just simply discern that they are someone who participates in these particular behaviors, and that is someone to be avoided, or someone we do not wish to emanate, or someone we sure as hell don't want our kids to emanate or emulate? Sorry, not emanate, emulate. It's a big question. And it's something that certainly gave me pause in my meditation this morning, because I feel like I'm a rather judgmental person. I think I want to put everyone in a box at some point or another. If they perform in a certain way, then I want to label them as that performer. And what I'm really doing is simply labeling God as that performer, because God is always the performer. God is the actor, the performance, and the entire show. So then is God participating as the liar? Well, yeah, because God can't do anything else but participate as whoever, whatever its emanation is. Anyway, I thought it was an interesting topic, and I thought I'd have more to say about it than I do, and I was hoping there'd be some comments. Where are you people? Why aren't you commenting? I finished this week, just yesterday, in fact, I finished reading Creative Mind and Success by Ernest Holmes. And I really made it a point to never read more than 5 or 6 pages at a time. Yesterday, I read probably 15 or 18 pages, which is the most I had read, but I really wanted to get to the end of the book. I'm here to tell you something. This book, and in particular, the last 15 pages of the book, this book is a mind-changing book. This book will help you to change your life, your perspective, how you look at everything in your existence, and help you to really, truly recognize that the divine is flowing in through and as you, in through and as me, and in through and as all of its creation. It is just a phenomenal read. Holmes wrote 20 something books, 27, 28, something like maybe 30. I've read 14 or 13 over the years. That is my second trip through Creative Mind. Might have been my third trip, but it's at least my second trip through Creative Mind and Success. And really, none of his books, of the few that I have read more than once, I read the entire textbook 2.5 times. You never read the same book twice for two reasons. Number one, you're not the same person. Number two, your perspective has changed on everything that you read, so that there are life lessons in every single trip through the books that Holmes created. And again, Creative Mind and Success. I'm now about to do the what I believe is the precursor to that, which is Creative Mind. And I'm not sure I ever totally finished Creative Mind. I have no sticky notes in it. I have no highlights in it that I can see. It looks to me like I put the dust cover on page 19. So actually, no, that's page 10. I can't see so well in the dark. It's dark down here underneath my computer. So I never got all that far in the book. So I'm gonna delve into that one. I find that anytime I read anything that has anything to do with the science of mind, I love that it just kind of refreshes my mind, my beliefs, my understanding of what it is, the principles that I live by, and why I live by them. The other thing I wanted to mention, just on a book thing here, I've been reading very slowly but surely, Practicing the Presence. Why does that just not show up right? How do you do that? Let's see. Practicing. It's funny how it goes in and out. Practicing the Presence, a Joel Goldsmith classic. This is a treatise on never losing sight of God. This is really about always recognizing that I am God informed, that everything is God informed. Just on a different twist, if you will, or a different pathway to the same conclusions that Holmes gets in Creative Mind and Success. The other thing I just started is an interesting book. This is something, Lisa and I were walking through a bookstore, and this was on a table. And as I walked by it, I stopped and it got my attention. And I looked at it and I said to Lisa, I think I want to get that book. And she said, why? And I said, because it looks like it's important that I read it. And here's the book. I hope you can see that. There you go. Me and White Supremacy. Me and White Supremacy. It is a book on how to combat racism, change the world, and become a good ancestor. It's written by a young lady named Layla F. Saad, and I've just really started the book. She gives a lot of instructions in the beginning about how to use the book, its purpose, why she wrote it, and you don't actually get to the work that she refers to throughout the thing until about page 30, and I've gotten to that point, and now I'm going to start to read this. It was originally designed as a 28-week course, and she said, do it however you best like, but it's designed as that 28-week course. And she makes it very clear that the work in some instances is going to be painful. Now that is interesting. As time has gone by, I have certainly come to understand that I am definitely a recipient, if you will, a beneficiary, more likely, of white privilege. And white privilege to me is not a question of, doesn't mean because you had white privilege doesn't mean your life wasn't difficult. Doesn't mean that you didn't have hard times. Doesn't mean that you struggled through this, that, or the other thing. But what it does mean is that the color of your skin was not a reason for your struggle. That's white privilege. And what Layla Saad is intimating through her book, Me and White Supremacy, is that white privilege is really a perpetuation of white supremacy. That's, I believe, the premise of the book. And it is about how those of us who would like to truly embody the idea that we may embrace, that I embrace, of we are all one. I am clearly aware that I have prejudices against She refers to BIPOC, BIPOC. That's Black, Indigenous, and People of Color, BIPOC. And I have, without question, I have different predetermined prejudices, and those prejudices could be, prejudice doesn't necessarily have to be negative in this context that I mean it, but I might have a prejudice towards someone in a positive way. But that's, and I definitely, when I talk about people of color, or when we refer to Black, Indigenous, and people of color, I have different feelings about different people in that category. But clearly, as much as I would like to say to myself, you know what, I don't see color, I'm not colorblind, nor can I be. But the key piece for me is I do not want to in any way, shape, or form do anything, participate in anything, or be part of anything that causes difficulty, trouble, or discomfort even for anyone who fits into that BIPOC category. So I'm interested in doing the work. I'm interested in reading the book, and I think what will happen is I will keep you posted on it as I go through it, because it is supposed to be a gradual process. What else have I got on my mind today? This is going to be a short one, I think, today. I also, I to step into the political for half a second. Was it yesterday? The third federal, or the third indictment against the most recent former failed ex-president of the United States was handed down, or handed up, I guess. Indictments are handed up to the judge, and I guess the judge hands it down. But the bottom line is another indictment, and I run the gamut of my feelings on this, and I listen to the different people. I mean, some people, very astute political people, say it's a very sad day for the country. Other people say, no, it's a very good day for the country. It's a good day for democracy. It's a good day for accountability. I tend to lean into that side, even though at the same time, the fact that we have, for the first time ever, we get to live in the period of time when it's the first time an ex-president has been indicted for anything, as opposed to for everything. But anyway. I want to say that I'm feeling the emotions around it. And I just want to say to each of every one of you, feel your emotions. I don't think it's smart to bury it and to say, oh, well, it's all good, or, oh, well, it'll all turn out for the best. I think it's, a lot of us have deep concerns about the future, if you will, of our democracy. It may very well be on the line right now. And I guess that's not necessarily a subject for this show, but a subject for a show somewhere along the line. I think that's really all I got for you today. Kind of a short show. I apologize if you were looking for something deeper and more engaging than that. I want you to always remember that New Thought Media Network is a nonprofit organization. Go to ntmedia.org. That's New Thought Media, ntmedia.org, and click on donate. We are thrilled and beyond grateful for anything and everything you wish to give us. This show, of course, is sponsored by HempWorks, the distributor of the #1 direct-to-consumer distributor of the best CBD and hemp-infused products in the world. And this is my CBD oil, 750 milligram peppermint full spectrum oil. I didn't make myself a cup today because I just didn't want to, but we also have this hemp infused coffee that I drink quite often on the show, 5 grams of broad spectrum CBD in each and every cup that you brew with that. Excuse me. The HempWorks is the sponsor of the show. They are part of a larger company called MyDailyChoice.com. If you go to MyDailyChoice.com/Ken Ludwig, I will guarantee you that you will find some things there that you will find to your benefit on many, many, many different levels. And I hope you will go check it out. What else do we have here? We have. You can find me on Instagram at evolving_hippie, and I keep swearing I'm going to put more stuff out there. Haven't done it in ages, but I'll get there eventually, folks. If you want to reach me, teamrockitnow@gmail.com. You can find my beloved Lisa and I on our branded Vibrant Aging Facebook page. And that's it. Remember, donate. donate, donate. The That's it. That's all I got for you, man. It's a very short show, and that was the only things that were on my mind today, unless I got something coming in here. There it is, right there. That wasn't it. Sorry, I didn't turn off my phone either. But as always, I'm immensely grateful for the great gift of your time and your attention. I wish you all the love and all the blessings the universe has to offer. I hope you will join me every Thursday at this exact same time, 4 o'clock Central, 2 o'clock Mountain. But until then, my friends, namaste.